Hi, I'm Rick Clagett. I've been married for almost 43 years, have 2 children and 3 grandchildren. I work as a director of surveillance at Las Vegas Hotel and Casino.
For many, pain can result from a seemingly harmless incident. They can seek non-surgical treatment to help with severity, but for the long term, pain is something they learn to live with.
The pain started about 30 years ago. I turned to get a drink of water at work and felt a sharp pain in my back. And it stayed that way for a couple of days. I went to the doctor and then took physical therapy, and then it was better. At the time that I felt the first sharp pain, it was that way and probably till about halfway through physical therapy, and then it got better, and then it was okay, and therapy was finished, and I didn't do any more therapy after that until 1994. In 1994, I was at a baseball game. We had taken the kids to a San Diego Padres game, and when we were leaving, it felt like I had a real bad cramp in my left calf, and it was very hard to walk, but I did, and the kids were laughing because they thought they were going to have to carry me. So I went to the doctor again, orthopedic, and saw a neurosurgeon too, and went to therapy again. Had the therapy, and probably again about halfway through the therapy, or 3/4 way, it got better, and that was gone. But since that time, until I had the recent surgery, the toes of my left foot were numb. Sometimes I have to wiggle them to make sure they still worked. But that was that way until, 23 years.
Over 3 decades, Rick completed multiple rounds of physical therapy. Initially, these sessions helped, but as time progressed, their effectiveness decreased. And in 2017, he knew he needed to find a targeted treatment.
Because I did have to go to therapy again in 2004. Between those times, there was probably things I shouldn't have done, but I did anyway. So, it was partially my fault that it got worse, or probably all my fault, because I abused it as I always had my whole life probably, and that's what caused probably the damage. When you're young, you're playing sports, you're doing all this stuff, you don't really care, you pick up things just however, because you feel strong then. So I continued to do those same things. So yeah, did it limit sometimes? Yes, just because of the pain, it would have to limit it sometimes, but not very often. I mean, you just keep going. But 2004, I had to go again because I would have muscle spasms, which I would lose all the function in my legs, and I would fall down at work one day and fell down and injured myself. And so again, through therapy and stuff, but the therapy didn't work that time. And so then I didn't do anything again until 2016, when I tried another therapy where it's all external, where you get laser treatments and you do things with physical therapy and stretches and things like that, which didn't help at all. I got to the point where I couldn't walk. My life, my quality of life was about zero.
In searching for a less invasive procedure, Rick found the Bonati Spine Institute.
When I first called the Bonati Institute, I spoke with a young lady in Florida who then put me in touch with the institute that they had here that has only been open approximately a year now, which was great for me because then I didn't have to travel out of state.
He met with neurosurgeon Dr. John Grossmith.
When I went in and saw him, I had an older MRI. It was about a year old, a year and a couple months. He looked at that, told me that, that they could help me, and then we started the surgeries in October. The first one was on a Tuesday, and then 2 weeks after that on a Tuesday I had the second, and 2 weeks after that on a Tuesday I had the third.
The Bonati spine procedures are outpatient surgeries. On surgery day, patients arrive at the facility, are prepped by the clinical and surgical staffs, and within a few hours leave to rest in either the comfort of their own homes or a local hotel.
The first surgery was in the afternoon. My wife took me, of course, went in, and all the staff at Bonati are fantastic. Everybody's very friendly. When I had the first surgery, it was on the left side, and after the surgery, when I came out of surgery and stuff, I had no problems or issues on the left side of my body that I had before the surgery. So it was gone immediately after surgery. On the right side, there were still some issues, and that's what the other 2 surgeries were required, and Dr. Grossmith did those also. Since I have had surgeries, I have no problems with my legs or my feet or toes. Everything seems to be back to normal. I have feeling in both feet and my toes. The legs, I'm not getting areas where I feel like I have a cramp, only because it's nerves. It's not actually you have a cramp. I don't have the pain in my buttocks that you would have from nerves. So everything now is gone.
Rick is back at work walking without issue, and he's feeling better knowing that he can do more around the house and more with his family.
With the surgeries, it does improve your quality of life because I can now walk. It was so bad before the surgeries that I could barely walk, and my boss told me they're going to get me a scooter. So after that, obviously, I could do all those things, and even the people that work for me, we laugh about it because I could barely walk, and now, I'm back to normal. I walk usually pretty fast. After, having those surgeries, I'll be able to do some things to get myself again in better shape, which then will obviously take care of some of the aches and stuff that you have, not just in your back, but anywhere. So it'll make a big difference in being able to do that to, again, make your quality of life a lot better. Since I've had the procedures, as I said before, the last one was in early November. There is a recovery period, of course, and I think you're concerned with you don't want to do too much and re-injure it or do something that you just went through all the surgery to fix. So you take it easy, but before, I spent a lot of time with my grandson and playing with him, and he's 5 years old. Done that since he was born. So within the last year before the surgery, our quality of time together was, it stunk because I couldn't do things. And he realized that, and but he was used to the old grandpa, who we just did whatever. We went to the park, I went on the slides with him, I did all the stuff which I couldn't do. So now I can do those things. He told me, he goes, now Grandpa, we can go to the park again. And so that's what it was for, that's what it's all about, and that's the quality of life. That's the big difference, is being able to do those things, that it's not about anything else.